Hi, this is Sammie W with Math Help. Today we're going to solve the following equation. What is the equation of a line parallel to 4x minus 7 that passes through the point 2, comma, negative 9? Okay, so these are always interesting problems. The first thing to note that we want a parallel m, that's a parallel slope. Parallel to m equals 4. 4 is the coefficient of x, so that's our slope. In the equation, y equals mx plus b. The slope is the coefficient, the number accompanying x. Let's make this equation y1. We're going to have to come up with another equation. Okay, they're going to have the same slope. They're going to go through this point. So we can use this equation. If you see that we use this, make this point x1, y1. Plug in the slope, all we need is to find b, and we'll have the equation of the line. That's what we've done here. Did a little algebra, y equals mx plus b. I rewrote the equation. Always want to write the equation because every time you write this equation, you get more and more familiar with this equation. When test time comes, you don't have to try to memorize it. You already know it. Y equals mx plus b. Write out these guys so that you can just label it and you can just make sure when you check it, go slow. Okay, here's my negative 9. Here's my 2. Here's my 4. Why do I do that? Because sometimes you try to speed up, you screw up, then you have to start back over. So you might have saved 2 seconds here, cost you 5 minutes, 10 minutes. So you're not saving any time. Just go slow. I can take my 8 across the equal sign as a negative. It crosses over and changes signs. Negative 8, make sure you do that. Negative 8 plus negative 9, negative 17. My y-intercept for my new line is going to be negative 17. Let's make that y2. Who's 4x minus 17? You really want to understand what's going on. For your home assignment, you didn't have to do this, but you want to get a real good picture. In the next section, for sure, you're going to have to graph it anyway. So when you get to the next section, you'll know we graph that line. We want a quick thing on graphing. You graph it really quickly by, we want to pick this intercept. That's where x equals 0. We see y equals negative 7 for the first line. X equals 0. Y equals negative 17 for the second line. So that gives us 1 point. We know it's a line. If we can connect 2 points, we can make a line. I picked an easy point here. I picked 2. I picked 2 because I know 4 times 2 minus 7 is going to give me 1. Keep these numbers nice and small so I don't have to do any, calculate. I'm not going to pick 7 and I have to deal with a number like 33. I'm putting 33 on the graph. Makes no sense. Here, I take here for the second equation, same thing. I have this big number out here. I want to make that small. So I go 4 times 4. I know that's 16. Going to give me a negative 1. See, so these numbers stay small. I could have picked, a negative 14. Then I'm looking at something like 82, and that's going to be too wild and ridiculous. What was interesting is that I put my dot here, and when I tried to draw it, I could see that was actually too far. So actually, my line actually showed me that my dot was a little off. But anyway, this is what we call a quick and dirty graph. It's nothing big. We just do it really quickly. Draw the line, sketch this line in. We don't have time for straight edge. This is very time consuming, so you want to try to save time when you can, get a picture for it. Don't have to be exactly straight. Make your graph. When you draw your grids, you want your grids to work. You look at your numbers here, look at your numbers here. I see those y's go up to 17. Actually, they go down to negative 17, so I didn't have to worry about filling in this area too much. I just want to make sure I go by 5s. I'm not going to go by 1s here, and I have to go, it's going to be too far. 2 is going to be too small. I never go by 3s. 4s doesn't make sense when I can use 5s. Here on the x, I use a different scale for my x because x only goes up to 4. But I want to cover my whole thing, my whole graph, so I want to spread it out. 1, so I went by 1s. 1, 2, 3, 4. So you can have different scales here. You just want to have a good picture of what's going on. So that's what you want. You don't want to be squeezed in this little area here. You don't want to be way out here where you can't even not getting them on. So that's what you want to do. You want everything, all these little techniques that you can use. Okay, so that's a big explanation. All you needed was this, but hopefully this helps you too. And so that's where I'm at on that. Hopefully that's all correct. It looks correct. I'm Sammie W, and I'm always here to help. Hopefully this was helpful to you. Thank you very much.